Show with Pat Lopez, where we talk everything real estate. Today, my guest is Marta Roman, associate broker of Remax Access. Marta, how are you?
I'm well. How are you, Pat?
I'm glad you're on the show today.
Thank you.
Now, you've been a realtor for how long?
19 years. The
Okay.
last 16, I've been an associate broker.
Okay, very good. Now, you are licensed in,
Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
okay. And then what is your footprint? Where is the primary areas you sell real estate in?
Philly, South Jersey, and Bucks County.
Okay. Now, you said you've been selling real estate for 19 years. So 20 years ago, what were you doing?
I worked for the banking industry. I was the financial center manager for 10 years.
Okay. And what made you say, hey, I'm going to give real estate a shot? Was there any one event or a person who inspired you?
Um, I guess it was a combination of things. I got to a point in my career where my salary kind of plateaued. I was already the manager of the financial center. I didn't want to go into the back office. Um, I just got worn out with the whole corporate restructuring, and I wanted to be my own boss.
Okay.
So I decided to sell real estate.
Okay. So when you made that transition, were you working full time and doing real estate part time?
No, no. What happened was, I decided that if I was gonna become a realtor, I wanted to give it my 100% all. So I ended up selling my house. I bought my home when I was 23.
Right.
I sold my home and just jumped into real estate full time.
All in 100% committed.
Yes.
There you go. So were you a little bit nervous about that decision? A little because if you're working for a bank, you're making a salary and now your commission as a realtor.
Yes.
So what was that like?
Um I was a little nervous. And then you get everybody giving you advice. Are you sure you want to do that? You're not going to get a check. But I know my work ethic. I know that I'm motivated and I was determined to make it work. And here I am 19 years later, and I'm still s- selling real estate.
Right. So after 19 years, it worked, right?
Yes.
There you go. Now, uh, today,
Actually, in my first year,
right?
I made more than what I made at the bank. My
Which
first year.
first year. So
Yes,
that's kind of unusual because when your first year, you're just getting your feet wet and it's difficult making the
correct.
connections. Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's fast forward to today. There's a lot of changes in the market, especially in the past 12 months. We saw interest rates being historically low, and now interest rates have doubled. What are you seeing in the market? What are your buyers saying? Is the interest rates rise? Is that doing anything for them of saying, hey, I want to put things on hold, or do you see no differences?
Well, I had a couple buyers put their search on hold because with the interest rate increase, they were priced out of the neighborhood that they wanted to
Right.
be in. The new buyers that are coming in now, they don't have anything really to compare it with. So as long as they qualify with the interest rate, it is what it is.
Right.
They just want to buy a house.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. And now for sellers, are you seeing any differences with sellers in this market? Has anything changed for them?
Um, well, I have sellers selling for different reasons. I did have one seller that decided to put their not sell yet because that meant they were going to have to, even though with the equity that they have in their house, their move up home was going to cost them a lot more.
Right.
So they don't have to sell. So they were like, I'll just wait.
Right.
But I have other sellers that, one relocated to Florida, so he has to sell. Another, even with the interest rate, he just wants to get out of, take advantage of the equity that he has
Right.
and, buy his move up house.
Okay. So, what's really important is if you have buyers who really need to buy and sellers that really need to sell, that's the perfect position because then this market really isn't affecting you.
Yes. And in my experience in real estate, regardless of whether the interest rates are high or it's a slow market, you'll always have people who need to buy and sellers who need to sell.
Right. And being 19 years, you've seen everything. And you, in 2008, when you had the housing crisis, which was a really crazy market at that point. So yeah, you've seen the ebb and flow of everything. So I guess, this isn't really that big of a deal because you've been there and you've done that, right?
Yes, you just gotta weather the storm.
Weather the storm. Okay, now, do you see any differences in buyers who are looking to buy in New Jersey versus Philadelphia versus Bucks County? Is there any common theme with those people?
Well, a lot of my buyers that are looking to buy in Bucks County, it's usually for school district.
Right.
Um, and a lot of my Philly buyers that are relocating to Jersey, it's more so for the to get more for your money. They want a single home with the yard.
Mhm.
Um, they
Okay.
don't want a row home anymore.
Right. Now, do you see with since the pandemic that the people are allowed to work from home? Is that guiding them as well? Because if I don't have to, I'm sorry, I don't have to go into work, I can work from home. So is that expanding people, moving further away from their jobs? Are you seeing some of that?
Yes, definitely. Since they don't have to come into the city, they're relocating outside of the city and they need space for an office now.
Right. So that
Yeah.
little row home, it doesn't work out. They need more space for another room.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, you deal with a lot of the Hispanic community, correct?
Yes, I would say that's about 75% of my business.
Okay. And do you see any differences there in that market?
As far as what do you mean?
Well, buying, selling, attitudes change with higher interest rates or anything like that, or is it pretty
It's
much the
pretty
same?
much the same as any other buyer. Yeah.
Okay. So as long as you give them a good house with safe area and
Find them what they want. Yep.
good school, then they're all the same. It's no difference.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
there's really no difference between the Hispanic community and any other community that you have, pretty much, that you're seeing.
With the market change? No.
No,
No.
nothing. Okay, great. Now being in business for 19 years, what have you done to make you successful? Is there anything that you can share with the audience? Things that you do that you think is good and that you could, pass that along.
Well, I think it's really important to manage your clients' expectations from the beginning, and that entails in educating them, laying out the process, being diligent in follow up, and staying in touch with them. And an important thing that's made me successful is just asking for that referral.
Right. So good communication, educating the clients, and actually asking for a referral.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't do that.
No.
Actually ask. Very important. Okay. So, well, that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else to share with the audience about what's going on in the market, or did we pretty much cover everything?
I think we covered everything.
There you go. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having
Now,
me.
if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, a buyer, seller, how would they do that?
Well, you could call my cell at 267-249-5865 or send me an email at martaroman.net.
Well, once again, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you.
And that's the Real Estate Show with Pat Lopez. Remember to follow the show on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe below. Super important. I have some great guests, some really good topics coming on. Also, leave a comment. I want to know what topics you want me to cover in the future. Remember, this show is everything real estate, no limits. Hope you enjoyed the show.